The Catholic Morning Show.
Welcome back to the Catholic Morning Show. This is Sam Halligan, your host this morning. And I am so excited to have on a friend of mine, Monica Welsh, an incredible wife, mother. She's part of a missionary family. Her and her husband live in Central Ohio, and she's got an amazing project she's been working on over the last little while that I want to be able to share with our listeners today. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome on my friend, Monica Welsh. Monica, how are you doing this morning?
Thank you, Sam. I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be on the radio. This is amazing.
No, this is amazing. And it's so cool too. I was, yesterday, had on a couple of friends, Pete Burak and John Michael Lucido. And it's amazing to be able to have different guests on the show of all different backgrounds, but it's an incredible gift to be able to have people on the show that I know. And that was the experience yesterday, the experience today. Super grateful to be able to have you on this morning. Cause you and I go way back, all the way back to Benedictine College and serving together at Damascus. And we've been through some fun adventures together. So,
like a decade, Sam. Can you believe it?
It is. It's wild. And here we are. You're married. I'm married. We have kids. Living the adventure. It's incredible. Monica, do you want to give kind of a brief introduction to yourself, kind of what's going on in life for you right now, and then we'll get into the content of the courses and the fun things that you're offering and that you want to share today with the listeners. So maybe just a little introduction to yourself and your life.
That's great. Thanks, Sam. Yeah. Well, I mean, the biggest thing is I'm recording this from Summit Lake, which is Damascus Summer Camp's regional campus on the East Coast. We're over in Maryland, and this is the first summer we launched. So like Sam said, I'm part of like a missionary family, the Damascus community, which is in Central Ohio. That's where I live. But we're here in the summers for Maryland. So that's kind of a crazy new adventure type of thing for me and my family. I'm married to the camp director, and then I've got a toddler and then one on the way. And so our family's growing. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And, in every season, it looks a little different and it's new. And I'm sure as all young parents can probably relate, it's like you think you get a handle on one season and then you're like, okay, now it's changing. And we're in a new part of the adventure. And so it's been just a real joy to be married. I've been married for 4 years. We were school teachers for a little bit, which I'll talk about, I guess, in a little bit. And then I'm a stay-at-home mom now with my toddler.
Amazing. Yeah. And to your point, I mean, what a gift to be a part of, not only a family and a workplace, but something that really kind of brings the missional life of the church to the forefront. Right? I'm sure I was commenting on this yesterday, but just the raising your children in the midst of this type of culture of being a part of a missionary community, your kids are going to be blessed for it. I mean, I'm sure that Maeve is just going to be, growing up amongst so many amazing young adult witnesses and role models. And I'm sure that that's only becoming more and more apparent this summer. How's it been that you guys are in the first couple weeks of camp? How's camp going?
It's going great. I mean, it's not without its bumps, everything's always like, oh, we're pivoting here. Me and Maeve are a little bit on the outside of camp. We're watching it. We're waving to the campers, and everybody's just in high spirits and happy. And honestly, it's been pretty much as good as you can get with the beginning of a launch of a new camp, right? So we're loving it.
Amazing. Well, Monica, as much as I love camp, this morning, I actually want to highlight you personally, the mission that God has given you, and to be able to highlight, really just the awesome work that you're doing through kind of a Catholic formation Bible series. So this is called the Catholic Bible Class with Mon. Could you give us just a little bit of an introduction into what the Catholic Bible Class with Mon is? We'll start there. At that. What is this awesome offering that you've got out there?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was born out of my own need for it, right? As a lot of things are. But essentially, it is a casual, DIY, self-guided, self-paced study of the Catholic Bible. There's an Old Testament portion and there's a New Testament portion, and it's designed to be for a beginner who maybe does not know the Bible very well, and it gets them to an intermediate level where they can say, I actually get what each of the book of the Bible is about, what it's for, who the main characters are, how it incorporates with the other books. Like, it's a holistic overall approach to the Bible. It's not, going to get you to PhD level perfection, but it's going to get you like a solid grasp that at Sunday Mass, when you hear the readings, you're like, I know where we are. I know what we're talking about. I know how it relates to the other books. And it just makes you more Bible literate. It's like, gets you familiar with the book that's supposed to be a life-changing book. It's the only book written by God on your whole shelf. And some of us are so unsure how to approach it because it's so big and it's so long.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, could you give me a little bit of like the origin story? I'm really curious because I think so many, a lot of people listen to this, hear that, and it's no wonder why people need access to that, right? Like you think about things like the Bible in a year. It takes the accessibility of, the entire Bible and puts it into a very palatable kind of like daily little bit of a snippet. And, I think this in a lot of ways, similar vein, this is kind of doing just that, perhaps a little bit more of a deeper dive, book by book or kind of course by course. But like, where is the origin story of this? Like, what was the way this came about from your end?
Yes. And with the origin story too, I have to acknowledge there's amazing Bible Catholic resources out there. But like I said, I found that what I made is something that I haven't seen other places. So it started because I needed it. Like I said, I was a teacher, so I had been raised Catholic. I am from a devout Catholic family. I went to Benedictine College, which is amazing. I studied theology. I was a missionary. And then I became a teacher of 9th grade theology. And I realized, wait a second, for all that I just went through, I don't actually know my Bible very well. Like I know stories in the Bible and I totally know the New Testament and, Jesus's words. But when it comes to like how the Bible fits together and what to do with like the prophetic books, I'm like, I have never even read those. Like, how am I supposed to teach these? What I started realizing was I need to learn so much. So I started learning. I literally was putting together a curriculum and I was pulling from at least like 15 sources as I was self-studying. I was pulling from amazing things like Ascension, Jeff Cavins, Bible in a Year, Father Mike, and then over at Franciscan, Dr. Scott Hahn, Dr. Bergsma, the St. Paul Institute, the Institute of Catholic Culture, which is out of Christendom. I was like Googling Catholic answers. I was flipping through the textbooks I was given from Sophia Press. But no matter what I was looking at, I always had more questions. And my high schoolers, my 9th graders, weren't particularly interested in like what the textbook had to say. They were like asking questions like, how are these people related? And why do I care about that? They were asking a little bit more practical or reasonable questions that I had to go research further. So what I put together was really a kind of a compilation of everything that is supposed to just take you through the story. It's full of details, but it's supposed to be in a really like a way that would be understandable to a 9th grader, but also interesting to an adult. And I love it because it connects, a lot of times we've heard the story of Noah's Ark, we've heard the story of Adam and Eve. And so it takes that story and it's like, yeah, I know you know this, but let's take a deeper dive. And then let's answer the question, how do Adam and Eve relate to Noah, relate to Jesus, that type of thing. So I started, it was just through teaching and I taught for 2 years. And then, like I mentioned earlier, we came back to Damascus. My husband felt called. We moved our family back and I missed teaching. I was like, shoot, I loved teaching the Bible. I loved seeing the students get it and have it click. And I missed that. So I started looking around for new students. I was a new stay-at-home mom. And so I taught a group of high schoolers for a year. And then I found some missionaries at Damascus actually who wanted to learn from me. And so I taught them over the summer through Zoom classes. But ultimately, the DIY self-guided course was born out of that summer when, we had scheduling conflicts and we had sickness and we couldn't make it to every meeting and we were like getting behind on the content. I was like, what would be easier is if you guys could just do this yourself on your own time. If I could teach you, but I wouldn't have to be there. And so the idea came from the group of us talking and saying, we should make this a little bit more accessible. So I recorded all my lessons and it's really simple. It's like you open up the workbook, there's a QR code, you scan it, you hear the lesson, you write down all the notes. It's like I'm teaching you right there. And it's conversational, casual. It's not using language that's too, hopefully too high above anybody's head. It's supposed to be simple. And you can do it at your own pace. So it hopefully makes the Bible a little more easy to get. And
I can imagine. Even just kind of like poking around on the website and kind of looking at the different offerings that you guys have. You have on here. It's amazing too. What really, to your point, it's like accessible. You take something so grandiose, the Bible, really the Old Testament, New Testament. There's 2 courses available online, and 90 pages of a PDF, 50 pages on another course, over 10 hours of content, being able to kind of walk through it. For the people listening, kind of as we land the conversation for this time around, where can people learn more information? And how can people take the next step to learn about the courses you offer?
Yeah, it's all on my website. So I know it's a little wordy, but that's my title. The Catholic Bible Pod with Mon is my podcast, and the Catholic Bible Class with Mon is my website. So if you go to the Catholic Bible Class with Mon.com, Mon is short for Monica, so that's MON. The Catholic Bible Class with Mon.com, and you've got all my offerings. I also have some different prayer companions, which connect the Bible from your from your head to your heart, that type of thing.
Wonderful.
But my biggest offerings that I'm most proud of, and I would love people to get to know, are the Old Testament course and the New Testament course.
Great. Okay. Yeah. The Catholic Bible Class with Mon.com. That's Monica Welsh, an amazing evangelist. Thanks for coming on the show with us. And we'll have more with Monica later this week. Thanks so much, Monica.
Listen to the Catholic Morning Show weekdays at 7 a.m. Central on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, iowacatholicradio.com, or the Iowa Catholic Radio app.